Class group blew up, your wife is marrying me. I smirked and hit go live. $1 million luxury car crashes into the wedding venue. As I was listening to the executives at my company presenting their updates, I noticed something strange, a sudden flood of notifications from my old high school group, which had been quiet for years. Ethan, didn't you see Logan's status update? Aren't you coming to his wedding today? Logan Steele, the class president, is getting married. All our old classmates are going. I replied, trying to keep it polite, sorry, my company's been super busy lately. I just don't have the time. But my answer was met with a string of criticisms. Busy with what? You rarely post on social media, clearly, you're not doing well. If you're worried about looking bad, just admit it. Who are you trying to impress? Even Logan joined in. Remember that bet? He said, smirking. I told you the woman I marry would one day outshine the woman you marry. I answered honestly, no, I don't remember that. Laughter flooded in. Logan's wife is the CEO of Beth's Law Group. Her dowry is worth hundreds of millions. What's wrong, Ethan? Don't want to show up? Don't tell me you're so broke you can't even buy a gift. Should we start a crowdfunding page for you? In the end, Logan directly messaged me, come to my wedding, witness my big moment. Just for old time's sake, after the wedding, I'll even have my wife help you land a security job, he added, posting a photo of himself with his bride. What shocked me wasn't just the photo, it was the bride. She was my wife, Lily Harper. I replied, alright, I'll come to witness your happy day. Just then, I got a message from Lily herself. Honey, I'm going back home to visit my parents. I've left some food for you in the fridge. Heat it up when you're ready. Love you, babe. Over the past 3 years of our marriage, Lily had always been thoughtful, always preparing meals for me and taking care of me even when I was spending money recklessly. In the past, I would have appreciated her thoughtful gestures. Today, all I felt was insulted. After the meeting ended early, I drove straight to Logan's hometown for the wedding. From a distance, I saw a banner at the hotel entrance. Congratulations to Ms. Lily, CEO of Beth's Law Group, on her marriage. Beneath the banner, Logan, dressed in an expensive suit, stood waiting for his bride. A group of old classmates from high school surrounded him. Logan, we had no idea. You're dating the CEO of Beth's Law Group? Yeah, the famous entrepreneur, Ms. Lily. Man, you're something else, marrying such a rich and powerful woman. Even our old homeroom teacher chimed in, flattering Logan. Logan, I knew you'd succeed. That's why I picked you to be class president. Forget about the grades, you were always destined for greatness. Logan stood there, soaking up the praise, strutting around like a rooster. After we got married, Lily always said she wanted to start her own business. I had funded her ventures, luxury boutiques, salons, yoga studios, but none of them succeeded. But with every failure, she grew more determined, telling me she would one day become a CEO. I handed her the management of Beth's Law Group, a small subsidiary. What I didn't realize was that she would use it to flaunt her success, with Logan by her side. When the crowd saw me, those who had been praising Logan suddenly looked at me with disdain. One of Logan's friends walked up, eyeing my car. Ethan, did you really rent a Rolls to show off? Others laughed. So this is why you're here, driving a fancy car to pose? What a joke. Bet that rent cost you half your salary. You really think you can compete with Logan's wife? As they laughed, I calmly responded, this is my car. Logan strode toward me, his face twisted with rage. Without warning, he punched me in the face. This car, it's my wife's. So you're the one she's been sneaking around with behind my back, huh? You parasite, driving my wife's car to my wedding? How dare you? The sudden punch knocked me to the ground, and my old classmate stared at me in disbelief. Logan, is this really your wife's car? Someone asked. Logan gave a smug laugh. Why would I lie? He pulled out his phone and showed a few photos of him and Lily. They were cozy shots, some in the car, some on the hood, with the license plate clearly visible. The crowd gasped. So it's true. Ethan must have been sleeping with someone else's wife. Logan glared at me coldly. No wonder you've been so quiet on social media these years. Turns out you're just a leech. Others quickly joined in. Wow, Ethan, you always seemed so sharp. Never thought you'd fall this far. I used to think he was the heartthrob of high school, but now, what a creep. So pathetic, really, flirting with a rich woman, acting all indifferent. Even our homeroom teacher seemed disgusted. Ethan, don't tell anyone I taught you. I don't associate with immoral people. Whispers and criticisms from the crowd drew more attention, and many people started filming and taking photos. I took off my $1 million designer jacket and tossed it into the trash, facing Logan, keeping my voice calm. You punched me without knowing the full story. You really are out of control. Logan sneered. What are you gonna do? You drove my wife's car here, asking for a beating. He turned to my Rolls, his face contorted with anger. There's nothing worse than a man who lives off a woman. He pulled out a key and scratched the words, Mistress, go to hell, onto the car door. I glanced at the words, saying, soon, you'll realize just how ironic those words are. Logan chuckled bitterly. Still talking nonsense? You're such a shameless failure. He grabbed a brick and slammed it into the car, first the window, then the hood, leaving dents and shattered glass. Logan's the future heir of Beth's Law Group. We can't let him be bullied by someone like Ethan. Someone shouted, and suddenly, my old classmates joined in, smashing the car without hesitation. Soon, the Rolls was a wreck. I looked at them coldly. I hope you'll be happy when you have to pay for all this damage. No one listened, treating me like I was invisible. Then one of Logan's followers opened the trunk, shouting, look at all this fancy stuff he's got here. Logan pulled out a painting, laughing cruelly. You live off women and still collect art? These things are worth way more than this car, I warned. Especially that painting. I suggest you leave it alone. The art was something I had acquired at an auction, not even able to pick it up yet. But Logan's anger kept growing. People like you don't deserve art. He tore the painting in half and stomped on it. Someone recognized the torn artwork and gasped. That looks like an original from ancient Rome. Didn't it start at 300 million? Logan laughed. So what if it's worth 300 million? My wife's money is my money. I can do whatever I want with it. I clenched my fists, furious, unable to speak. Even though I had handed Beth's Law Group to Lily, she shouldn't have lost half its value like this. But to my classmates, she was just an outstanding CEO, deserving of respect. Under Logan's lead, others took turns destroying the rest of the things in my trunk. I silently took out my phone and spoke into it. Pin my location, send backup immediately. Before I could finish, one of Logan's goons grabbed the phone out of my hand and slammed it on the ground. Still calling for help? Let me guess, you're trying to get some rich sugar mama to save you, he mocked. Others joined in, laughing exaggeratedly. I glanced at the broken phone, calmly saying, we'll see who's laughing soon. Logan grabbed my collar. You think you can threaten us? His eyes landed on the jade pendant around my neck, and he grinned as he ripped it off. I bet this was bought with my wife's money, too. Panic flooded me. Give me the necklace back. Logan noticed my reaction and chuckled. Why are you in such a hurry? Is this necklace really worth that much? I tried to stay calm, but my voice betrayed me. It's not worth much, but it's very important to me. Give it back. I reached out, desperate to grab it. This pendant wasn't just jewelry, it was a talisman my mother had given me, something she had earned by sacrificing her health. When I was a sickly child, almost in a coma, the doctors told my parents to prepare for the worst, but my mother refused to accept it. She climbed Temple Hill in 104-degree fever, kneeling with every step in earnest prayer. By the time she reached the summit, her knees were bleeding, her head injured, and she was barely conscious. But she begged for this pendant, and it seemed heaven listened. Not long after, I woke up from my coma, but my mother was gravely ill. Before she passed away, she gave me the pendant and made me promise to protect it. Since then, I've worn it every day, cherishing it as if it carried her soul. I would never let anyone destroy it. The more you care, the more I want to destroy it. Logan laughed. Before I could grab it, he threw the pendant on the ground. The jade shattered, scattering across the pavement. No, I felt my heart tear apart. This pendant, my mother's final gift, was destroyed before my eyes. You bastard. I couldn't hold it in anymore. My fist flew toward Logan's face, driven by all my anger. The punch sent him stumbling backward, but before I could follow up, another classmate kicked me, and soon, others joined in, kicking and punching me. How dare you hit Logan? He's the husband of the CEO of Beth's Law Group now. Who cares? It's just a necklace, maybe something you got from some rich woman you're messing with. Why make such a drama out of it? Shameless trash, flirting with other people's wives for money, and you still hit Logan? You think your old classmates are here to let you do whatever you want? Even our homeroom teacher joined in, kicking me twice when no one was looking. I was beaten black and blue, shaking with rage. You'll all regret this. I spat out, biting my teeth. Everyone laughed, mocking me. Still think you're the high school genius? What's the point of being a top student? Look at you now, living off others. Pathetic. A man who lives off a woman should know his place. Quietly take the beating. You only dug up old friends to beg for me? If I were you, I'd be too ashamed to show my face. They pinned me to the ground, laughing and humiliating me, while the onlookers just stared and spat on me. Logan, surrounded by his supporters, grinned and stepped on my face. Regret? Of course, I'll wait to see how you make me regret it. Just then, a row of luxury cars screeched to a halt in front of the crowd. A man in a suit stepped out, walking with an air of calm authority.